Okay, I'm going to do a video of the actual process with the Fret Wizard tool installed. The tension's correctly set, the neck has been set perfectly straight with a straight edge and the truss rod wrench, and I've pre-marked all the frets with the Sharpie pen across the top so I can tell when I have all the low spots taken out. First thing I want to cover is something I discuss in the user's guide, is that 90% of the videos I see on the internet, this is called a fret plane. I had this made by a machine shop about 25 years ago. It's a plane because it's in a singular plane. It's perfectly flat. I see everybody doing this, back and forth, just grinding away. Well, that's 100% wrong, because you're creating a series of faceted flat spots across the top of the fret. The correct way to level the frets is in a bias motion, preferably at something less than a 45-degree angle. And you also have to remember that the same amount of frets are in this area that are in this distance right here. So you go across like that and then alternate in the opposite direction. Spend a little more time down here. And you can even do this to a degree. I start out with 320, and I'm not putting hardly any pressure on this tool. It's just the weight of the tool. I'm not trying to grind the frets completely off. I can see the flat spots appearing on top of the frets. Okay, now we'll zoom in a little bit, and you can see that each one of these frets has a nice, clean, new exposure of a flat spot that's about at least 1 millimeter wide. Now I'm going to wipe it off and remark them with Sharpie pen, and then I'll start the recrowning process. Okay, so I'm going to say my sticky paper. I'm going to re-crown the top and leave just a tiny bit of the black line showing using a Stumac 300 grit diamond fret file. I won't spend much time on this because this is a very lengthy process. This whole operation right here is probably going to take close to an hour, maybe, well, 30 minutes to an hour, but that's not going to be okay for the video. But we'll just start right here. And if I zoom in on that, maybe you can see. I'll go to the 12th fret. It's in the field of view. So I'm leaving, and I'm wearing magnifiers because you really need to see this really good. I'm leaving a flat spot that's probably less than 1 millimeter right in the center of the fret. I'll do that to every one of the frets, and then I will come back with the fret plane again and lightly kiss them with 800 grit and then 1200, so that the flat spot that's in contact with the strings is much smoother. You don't get a lot of noise with the strings when you're playing. I polish it with I get a lot of criticism for this, but I use triple aught steel wool. Polish the frets with steel wool. It also cleans the fretboard up, and I only tape up the maple fretboards. I don't tape up the ebony ones, and the only reason I do that is to keep the blackness and everything from the fret grinding process out of the wood. So that's going to do it for this one. Thank you.